This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shake that fire.
Wake your fuck ass up. That crust starch.
What the fuck do you want now?
You know, I like to fish myself. By catch and release, though. You ever do that? Catch and release? Drag the bastard around by the lip till he gets all gassed up with lactic acid, and then you take the hook out and look him in the eye and say, "I'm just fucking with you, buddy."
Man, get the fuck out of here, huh?
My client's boat blew up in close proximity to another boat, which is your boat. You think I'm going away? I got a whole bag full of tricks, extortion, blackmail, all kinds of shit, whatever it takes. Why don't you just tell me what you know, and I'll be nice.
You know, that I wanted to play that clip from this series that I've been watching on Amazon because our good friend is the star of this series, Heather B. And now, since he's come on the show and we've had all these great conversations, whether it's a book or music or whatever he's doing, I always make sure I dig in on it. But he hit one. He got one with this one, Goliath. You can see it on Amazon. It's a really pretty good series. He's here to talk about a new movie, but I really enjoyed that series. The one and only Billy Bob Thornton is here.
Hey! Big.
Good to see you guys.
You play a disgraced lawyer pretty well, man. How?
Yeah, man. Play a disgraced anything pretty well.
Seem to be your MO, man.
That's right, buddy. Yeah, man.
But it's a web series, man, which I find. I feel like what we're seeing on these digital platforms is so much better than what we see on TV. Is that too judgmental of me?
I'm not so sure it is. The thing is the independent film business is pretty much done.
Okay.
So it's either studio movies, which are generally event movies, bigger, like cartoons or Batman, that kind of thing, And then, the independent film business is pretty much gone. So now it's on Amazon and HBO, places like that, So if you want to do the things, like there are movies that I did, independent films that were, famous movies that you probably couldn't even get made now. You would probably have to do them on a place like Amazon or, one of those. Monsters Ball, Sling Blade.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those might not get made now.
Yeah, they wouldn't even look at them, right?
Probably not.
Too expensive, too big to make for an indie, or
yeah, they're just. Well, the main theater-going audience, I think, those are not the kind of movies they want to go see. I think the audience for movies about people and character-based movies and everything, those are the people that stay home, And, once you get past, 35, 40, it's more of those people stay at home and watch TV. So...
That's why he just profiled me. Billy Bob Thornton. Yo, that's exactly what I do.
Tell Billy Bob what you did all weekend.
Yo, man, I watched so much TV, man. This weekend I was stuck in a box and I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Oh, I do the same thing. I mean, see, I watch sports so much that, I don't know. My wife. After a while, she's like, dude, seriously. I mean, it's like you've watched football, basketball, and baseball today. Now you're watching stuff that happened in 1965 on the Classic Channel.
Hilarious.
And now, look, I watch girls' college softball. I watch everything, you know what I mean? And so she said, how can you watch so much sports? I said, well, see, when you're watching sports, you can get lost in it, and you have something to root for and all this kind of thing, as opposed to in my business, sometimes when I'm watching a movie, I'm either hypercritical of it or you start thinking too much about the technical aspects of it or whatever, or I get depressed, watching some hard story, whatever it is. And then, watching sports gives me a release and everything. And I don't know.
You don't escapism, man.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about sports because I know you're a big baseball fan. And this year with the World Series with so many different historical things attached to it, who did you root for being a Cardinals fan?
Honey, it was hard.
It was hard. Right?
It was so hard. I mean, here's the thing: the Cardinals and Cubs have a old-time rivalry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it goes real deep. I was going to use a reference I probably shouldn't even use.
No, go for it, Billy Bob.
No.
Are you sure?
No, I shouldn't.
No, go.
Judgment free.
No, I dare you.
No.
Oh man, we grown.
See, here's the difference in 10 years ago and now. You can say something now, and the next thing it's done, man. It is over.
Yeah.
So anyway,
No.
That shit'll be trending before you even leave.
I used to open my mouth a lot back when you could. But
Yeah.
I'm careful
You
these days.
just censored yourself for the
I
first
know, I
time.
did. I know, man. I know. But
He saw the TMZ headline flash in front of his
right,
eyes.
I did. But it was like this. I have a friend who has a son who they're Cardinal fans, and he said, "Here's the sad thing. My little boy, and this is before the playoffs, and we knew we weren't going to be in them." And he said, "My little boy, for the first time in his young life, is going to see a year where the Cardinals aren't in the playoffs." He goes, "How wild is that? All these years, because we're at least in the playoffs."
Yeah, always.
And to see the Cubs win the division was, I mean, it poisoned me. And we have like I said, a real deep rivalry. And then people, when they got in the World Series, people are saying, well, I mean, they're your division mates and all this kind of stuff. You got to root for the division. Because, see, I'm an SEC guy, too, in college football. Arkansas Razorbacks. But then if Alabama's in there or Auburn, whoever it is, I root for them because I'm an SEC guy.
God.
Boy, it was hard to root for the Cubs, buddy. I mean, it was like I dug down, but it was hard. And God bless them. I mean, all these years, you got to hand it to them, and you got to feel good for somebody who's been dry for a long time like that. And
Over 100 years, Sway. Come on.
but it's tough, man.
I don't care.
It's tough.
I'm an Oakland A's fan, bro.
Right, I know. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, man. So
I hear you.
But going to, man, Cleveland, man, was almost there, though.
they were.
I was rooting for Cleveland
You
just
were.
because the city could use it. Like having gone to Cleveland recently.
Oh, because you was just in
I
Cleveland.
was in Cleveland. We got Carl on the line from Florida. Go ahead, Carl. Say
Hey,
hello to
Carl.
Billy Bob
Hey,
Thornton. Go ahead.
Carl.
Hey, what's up, Billy Bob? Hey, Sway, hey, everybody.
Hey, what's up, man?
Just wanted to say what you think about that Pittsburgh upset with the Cowboys last night.
Oh, you know what? I was flying in from L.A. I didn't get to see it. And
Oh, man, you missed it. It was a good one. They up 8-1 right now. Watch out for them Cowboys.
I'm telling you, man. And it looks like Dak Prescott's going to stay out there.
Yeah. What I want to ask you about, man, since we're talking sports, man, we'll get back to Bad Santa 2. That's in theaters November 23rd. What was your take on Kevin Durant going to the Golden State Warriors?
You know what? He's from Oakland, so this
I
is
see.
Billy
touchy.
Bob, go
I
ahead.
got
I'm going to push the mic away. Go ahead.
My take on Kevin Durant going to the Golden State Warriors. Well, these days, athletes, they move around and they go where they think they're going to win.
Yeah.
And they go where they think they can have a better time, and I guess you can't blame them. I mean, here's the thing. Athletes, when people start talking about how much money athletes make, for instance, and it's like, well, they're overpaid and, crybabies or whatever it is. But when you think about that, these cats' careers aren't that long. So in other words, I can be an actor till I'm 95 if I stick around. But a basketball player, football player, their career may be 7 years long or 4 years long, So I think whatever makes them happy,
you should go for the happiness.
You should go for it.
Yes. See, Heather, there's
Well
nothing
put.
wrong with Kevin
Stop
Durant being
saying,
at the Golden
see,
State
Heather,
Warriors.
I told you, I'm not mad at Kevin Durant. I'm
All right.
just not a Warriors fan.
Yeah, we're going to come back with Billy Bob Thornton. You want to talk with him, 888-742-3345. It's a song dedicated to the Warriors by E40. Sway in the Morning, Shade 405. Yeah. Ta-da. Billy Bob Thornton here. A good friend is here, man.
Yep.
A lot of respect for this guy, man. He just censored himself. First time ever, I think, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, what'd that feel like? How'd it feel censoring yourself?
Nearly choked me to death.
That's real.
It got caught about right there.
You did kind of have problems with it. This is these are some incredible times. We're starting to find out so much about our country. The presidential election had a lot to do with it. Brought out a lot of opinions, one way or the other. But I think it's great to have these conversations regardless of what people's politics are. Dave Chappelle just actually hosted Saturday Night Live, and you didn't get a chance to see it. Right?
I didn't. No. I've been out here promoting things, man.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to see anything.
Yeah, but you known him for how long? Have you known Dave Chappelle?
You know what's funny? I knew Dave back when he had a little talk show, like on one of those, like the UPN network, something like that, local, LA station, a little talk show, a long time back. And I was on his show, and he, a matter of fact, I think it was one of the shows that, he didn't get all the A-listers on and stuff. This is back when Dave wasn't a big deal yet. He'd been in stand-up, but after I did Dave's show, I loved him. I thought he was such a cool guy to be around. And after that, he got hold of me a little bit later, and he said, "Hey, man, look, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I didn't want to do this without asking you." He said, "I'm doing a movie. It's the movie Half Baked, about the cats that sit around and smoke pot all day, and got the horse high in the movie." And he said, "We have a pipe that we smoke out of in the movie called Wesley Pipes." and he said, "But when we want to really get stoned, we're going to use a bong, and we want to call it Billy Bong Thornton." And he said, "Is that cool with you?" And I said, "Yeah, man, go for it." So in the movie, their bong is called Billy Bong Thornton. So yeah,
That's awesome.
That's a great ass story, man. I'm gonna play you back a clip of a piece from his monologue at SNL, which easily most watched SNL probably of all time, if I'm not mistaken. If not, it will be. And get your take on this.
I know it's been a long time. It's been a long time, so please be patient. I didn't know that Donald Trump was going to win the election. I did suspect it. Seemed like Hillary was doing well in the polls, and yet I know the whites. You guys aren't as full of surprises as you used to be. The whites were furious. I've never seen anything like it. I haven't seen white people this mad since the OJ version. There's a split screen with white people on both sides. Ah!
Yo, but were white people that upset?
I'm white.
No, I wouldn't have never. No,
Really like, you asking me like I'm different? I'm other?
I'm part white.
Other. Yeah.
No, man, yeah, it's well, Dave, he can tear it up.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to hear what Chris Rock has to say too. 'Cause Chris, did you cats ever see the tape that Chris Rock did? I don't know if it's just on the internet or what, but it's the one he did called "How to Not Get Your Ass Beat by the Police."
Oh, it was a clip. I think he did a
clip.
clip.
Have you seen that thing?
Yeah, I think
it's
he did a clip.
hysterical.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, you got to see this.
I haven't seen it.
One of them is like, he goes, all the rules to to not get your ass beat by the police. He goes, first get a white friend. And it was never go out with a mad woman. Like if your girl's mad at you, don't take her out with you if you're smoking weed.
No.
The weed.
Because she will give you up just like that.
Just like that.
Oh, yeah.
He got his deal with Netflix, two episodes, right, for $40 million.
Yeah.
Or something, $40+ million. I can't wait to hear what he has to say. Billy Bob Thornton is here. The movie is Bad Santa 2. In theaters, November 23rd. Now, DB, if you recall, he's our movie expert.
Yeah.
I got to see the movie
There
early.
it is. Got to see the movie early.
Way to go, man.
One of the major perks of my job. And I was just wondering because Thurman Merman, he actually appears just looking like an older version of himself, which he is. And I read that he actually ate like crazy amounts of food to gain weight because he actually became skinny over the years. And so you guys were filming in Montreal, I believe. And,
That's right.
And so he had to just eat a whole bunch of greasy food and stuff just to gain the weight back.
Absolutely. He gained 55 pounds, I think it was. And he had been, and he had been working out and gotten fit. He graduated college. His life was going great, and then we called.
So something I wanted to know also while I was watching that just kind of hit me was in certain scenes where you have like the kids sitting on your lap, and you're playing Santa and everything, do you overdub some of the like really harsh shit that you say because you don't want to say it to them directly? Like I don't know if that was just something that.
Oh no, it's full octane, man. Yeah, you can't overdub that stuff. You know, the kids. If anybody's gonna get damaged from that, the parents are to blame because they bring them down there. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're standing right there. I want my kid to be in a movie. All right. Okay. But so you know, on the first movie, I remember the first week or so when we were doing the Christmas scenes, I would go over to the parents and say, "Hey, look, you know, I'm sorry about this. It's just a movie, you know." And they would, you know, they were all cool. They said, "Yeah, we understand." And every now and then I'd apologize to one of the kids. Say, "Listen, I'm gonna have to say some real mean things to you here, you know. So just know that I'm not really like that, you know." And I don't think half the time they even knew what I was saying, you know, and especially in Montreal. I mean, because some of those kids spoke French, and they would just learn their lines in English, so I could say whatever I wanted to, you know.
Fuck you.
Unless I said it in French. It's like, pardon my French.
Yeah. Billy Bob Thornton is here. We got TJ from Milwaukee on the line. TJ, what's up?
What up, Sway?
What's up, man? Say hello to Billy Bob Thornton.
What up with you, Billy Bob Thornton?
Hey, man, what's up?
Hi.
Hey, I just wanted to ask you about Bernie Mac. You know what I'm saying? I know you probably can't talk too much about the plot of the movie or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna throw something about Bernie back up in there and like, you know, like why don't you like share like a story about Bernie Mac from the previous Bad Santa, man? Because he, you know, I was in Chicago yesterday. You know, that's Bernie. You know, that's our home, the city Bernie Mac's home, man. And you know, like it's like Harold Washington, Walter Payton, Michael Jordan, and Bernie Mac. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So,
I hear you.
Okay, go ahead, man.
Yeah, man. Well, first off, Bernie was a great dude. I loved him. He was a terrific cat to be around, and terrific actor, performer. You know, and we all miss him a lot, as well as John Ritter. You know, John Ritter was in that one too, and John's gone too. So losing Bernie and John was one of my best friends. So it was a hard thing, and hard to come back and do a movie and think about them not being there. The thing is, in this particular movie, you know, this time we go off someplace else, me and Marcus, and so it would have been hard to work Bernie's character and John's character as well as Lauren Graham. It would have been pushing it to work them into the movie anyway, because you just had to make up some silly excuse for them to be there. But I got a feeling there's going to be a little tribute anyway, because those guys were such a part of that first movie. And in terms of a story on Bernie, I can tell you this one. He had an assistant there on the set, and I had an assistant who I still have. She'd been with me for, 16 years now. And so she and I used to do this thing in front of Bernie. We didn't tell him we were joking, and I would boss her around and say stuff to her that you'd get sued for normally. And we would always do it close to Bernie. And like I'd say, damn, bitch, come here a minute. Did I tell you to get me a coffee or what? I said, where is it? I don't see it. It's not sitting on my chair, is it? And she said, oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I'll go get it right now. So we did this whole act, you know, totally pretending. And one day, and Bernie would watch it, and, you know, Bernie would kind of, you know, his eyes would get big. He'd look over there at me. And then finally one day he called me aside, and he said, dude, I got to ask you something. He goes, how do you get your assistant to stick around and do all that stuff for you that way when you talk to her that way? And I said, no, go ahead. I said, you try it with her. She'll do whatever you want. And Bernie said, really? I said, yeah, if you ever need her, just tell her to do something. And so a couple of days later, Bernie's assistant wasn't around, and she came around, and Bernie said, honey, could you do me a favor? I left my tie down in the dressing room there. Could you go get one of the PAs and tell them, ask somebody to go get it for me? And my assistant, who I'd already schooled on this, you know, I said, here, if this happens, here's what you do. And she said she told him to fuck himself.
Wow, Billy Bob Thornton, ladies and gentlemen. I think on that note, make sure you see Bad Santa 2 in theaters November 23rd. Man, it's always a pleasure to have you, man. Billy Bob Thornton, man, always a pleasure, man. Oh, man. All right, man, we going to keep it going. Up next, we got Willie Robertson. He's going to be here from Duck Dynasty. You want to talk to him, call us, Sway in the Morning.
It's Sway in the Morning, only
On Shade 45.
Weinstein's probably the first person that I ever looked at a photograph of and was like, yeah, he rapes. I'm not sure this motherfucker has a choice. Not a handsome man. Not, a lot of meat and extra skin on his face. Yeah, he's ugly. You know the sad part is, he's done so well in life, he probably doesn't know he's ugly. You know, when you're good looking, everybody will tell you, oh, you look wonderful, you're so great looking. But when you're ugly, you gotta figure that shit out for yourself. It's a lot of putting clues together through the years. Why am I not getting in the club? I got all the right shit on. Because if it was Brad Pitt doing that shit, you wouldn't have heard a peep. The girl would just come back down like, I got the part. Yuck. And yet, it is important that I acknowledge, ladies, you are absolutely right. There you go. And they gotta all be mindful of that, guys, because this could happen to any of us. It could happen to me. I can see that. I see myself showing up. Hi, I'm here for my 3 a.m. with Mr. Weinstein. Hey, Harvey, I got your text. I'm here to talk about the script. Seems like it's going to be hard to read in candlelight, but I guess I could try. Sound like a fucking nightmare. Could you imagine that shit? Could you imagine if you was in a business meeting and a motherfucker pulled their dick out? In the middle of the meeting, I'd be like, yo, my man, this is the most unprofessional shit I've ever seen in all my days. Just let me finish, Dave Chappelle. I'll put you in all 3 Lord of the Rings. Hurry up, nigga. I have other meetings to know. I have a 4:30 a.m. at Brett Ratner's house. And, I believe it's wardrobe fitting.